Good morning. I'm Delphine Milo, broadcasting to you from the GBTA conference here in Brussels. Joining me today is Tony Barker, Advisor Strategy at Trava. Tony, thank you for being here today.
Good morning, Delphine. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Yes. How is your conference going so far?
It's going very well. Yeah, we're meeting lots of interesting people, and I think it's a small personal event, so it is better than a big one. Yeah.
Thank you. So let's dive right in. Why should travel agents, including online and TMCs, have a clear digital strategy? And would you be able to explain what is a digital strategy?
Yeah. A digital strategy is where you think about how you can become more digital. So there's digitalization in the company to actually use digitalization to communicate and process your work activities. And then there's also digitalization as to how you communicate with the traveler, with the customer. Because today everybody's in their mobile most of the time, and that's where they want to have the information. So you have to then adapt yourself to give a mixture, if you want to, of personal communication and service, but also you've got to back that up and give the information in a digital manner, because that's how we think and work today. So it's important that you think about how you can become more efficient with digitalization, which is what every company is now doing, and then allowing the people in the company to do value added rather than a lot of the administration and repetitive work. So it's not just sort of using a bit of digitalization to automate something, but to actually think about the whole process. So you do have to think long and hard and be clear about what you're doing with digitalization.
So embedding it at the core of the strategy.
It is, and how you work. It's a little bit old-fashioned to sort of have sort of paperwork streams or people doing things. You have to analyze what's repetitive and then what can be then digitalized to aid the human rather than the human filling in the gaps of the work process. So that's how I want us to think about it.
Okay, and so how can agents reduce this manual work that you just described by 70%?
Yeah. It's relatively well. I think Trava is a bit different to a lot of companies. What we provide is what we call a no-code solution. So then the actual customer can then set up the process, which can then actually replace the repetitive manual work. And we found with a lot of our customers, we can actually achieve 70 to 80% reduction in their manual work. This is also supported by Sabre, who came out with a report saying that a lot of agents, about 70% of their time is actually working with repetitive work. So it means that with our tools, where you don't need any IT developers to do the work with, it means that you're in control. You can actually set the processes up to automate. You can actually achieve 70%, and we do get that with a lot of our customers.
That sounds promising.
It's really good. But I mean, and once you start to use our service, it's extremely flexible. You can set up almost any process. So it's all the ticketing, it's all the refunding, it's all fare optimization. So not only do you get a better level of automation, but you also then actually get a better level of cost efficiency because you're processing the tickets in a more efficient way. So we normally save around about €5 per PNR in terms of just being more efficient with the optimization.
Okay.
So that's what we do, but it's very much a mindset change, and again, it's down to this digital strategy. So a lot of people they say to us, yeah, we've got a bit of automation, and we use part of a feature from another supplier they're using, but it doesn't really encompass the whole process of the automation, plus being efficient, and then from that automation, then doing the communication with the traveller. So you tell the traveller there's been a flight change, and then you can actually have self-service features, so they can choose whether they want to refund or whether they want to accept the change or whatever. So it's a big mindset change, and that's the challenge we have, and that's one of the reasons why we're here, is to educate people, to show them what can be done. Because I think a lot of people are frustrated, but they don't know how to do it. So I want to, sort of reduce. I have staffing problems, skill issues, scalability, but I don't know how to solve it. So we're trying to wave our hand and tell them that we're here. We can help you.
Yeah.
So
And that relates to a lot of the pain points around
It
the
does.
industry.
It does, yeah. And I think post booking, that's the area that we focus on. Post booking's been a bit left by a lot of the system providers, so they're all on the front end, trying to be efficient on the booking and searching and things like that. But then it has to get mopped up on the post booking. So there's not so many efficient systems that can do that because digitalisation has not been with us for that long, and the capability and thinking around that. So that's what we're doing, and we're getting a lot of demand now because obviously there's staffing issues and obviously flight changes and those sorts of things are going up. But with our system, you can actually manage those very quickly through that.
Okay. And I do have a last question for you, Tony, in terms of how can agents meet the increasing flight changes that are occurring? I know you already talked about that, but can you just write it up around that specific pain point?
Yeah. So it is a big issue. So you've got staff issues, you've got more of these flight changes because obviously airlines have come through COVID and they're having issues again with handling in airports. So with our system, you can actually set up quite sophisticated processes to manage that. So you can actually then process that very quickly through the automation, not need to have the manual input to do those changes. So that's a big pain point for our customers at the moment, and that's one thing which they really value. So that's an area which people, Queue management is another thing, so you can automate that a lot, and then you're only dealing with some of the key issues. You're actually getting sorted a lot of that queue management. So you really are taking away some of the frustrations of the agents because it's not very motivating if you're having to do all these manual processes. So it allows them to spend time with the customer in a value-added sort of context. That's
Okay, no, but thank you, Tony, for all of these insights into the solutions that Strava is providing.
No, thank you. Yeah.
And so this is Delphine Milo broadcasting to you from the GBTA conference here in Brussels. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.